Liz, and I'm with Tyrant Dominus, aka Jesus. And if it's your first time listening, you can always follow and subscribe. We would really appreciate if you did. We're trying to get to more videos on here, guys, and maybe a live action someday soon. Anyhow, how are you, Jesus?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. More recently, I've been. If anyone who's listened to is following me on Instagram, you see I'm posting a little bit more, trying to be a little bit more proactive on the social media game, trying to get a little bit more stuff on Instagram and TikTok to kind of keep those people engaged and kind of know, because we do have a slight following on there. So and I do kind of post when we launch episodes and stuff like that, but to keep a little bit more engagement. So for anyone, so you also little treats and stuff to like kind of what we're going to be talking about here and there. So yeah, I've been doing that. I've recently watched a few movies with my future brother-in-law, and it's we went to watch The Boogeyman, and I was messaging you the other day actually, if to kind of see if you wanted to go. It was a morning showing to go catch a matinee showing to catch a horror movie. In itself is like weird, but I've been I'll give a slight review here. By the time this gets out, you guys can probably listen to my full review. When horror movies, when you get into genres, it's interesting because you kind of have to have it has to be intriguing enough and scary enough to really pull you in for horror, right?
Hmm.
The Boogeyman, even though it was based off a short story from Stephen King, and I enjoy some of Stephen King's writing and some of his film adaptations, this one was mediocre to say the least.
Bruh.
Ooh, so not that scary. Okay.
It was scary. It just had a very listless plot and characters. I didn't give a shit about anything. That's kind of the base review. Like characters, story, plot, scares, pretty good. That's kind of my listless like mini review right there for you guys. So, but if you want to hear my full thoughts, go listen to React and Cast. But yeah, besides that, I've been just kind of just doing the same old thing. Worrying about one of our current or missing coworkers who is missing in action somewhere out there.
Uh-oh. Dun.
It's one of the few times where there's not the first time someone's gone missing in action. Where they just vanished. Some people just put in their 2 weeks or say, "Hey, I'm done. I'm out." Cool. It's a job, and we just have one that just gone AWOL. We have no idea what happened. I reached out personally to see if they're okay. I've known them for a little bit now. So it's like one of those few things. Like I hope they're doing okay. That's kind of one of the. But yeah, it's kind of scary and sad sometimes. Yeah, because I was talking with one of my other coworkers. Because we the only one that's been around long enough to kind of go through this. So we were we're talking about all the people that's gone, reminiscing about some people. We've gone through a lot of people.
I know, right?
How about you? How's your week been?
Still trying to get on a sleep regimen of some sort. What's fucked up is I'm going in from mornings to nights soon. And by the time this posts, I will be halfway through nights. We'll see. If I live.
See. There's no guarantee.
Okay, so I pulled 2 10s this past week. One was 6:30 in the morning till about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so that was very long day. But I got pulled from one to the next, so I was in scrubs pretty much all day. Not really all that pretty for the department, but that's okay. And then the next day, I had to come in and cover and finish the rest of the overnight shift. So 3:15 wake up call. Yeah, I went in, worked till 4 o'clock, from 4 o'clock in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon.
Bruh.
I'm so whooped. I am whooped. So now that I'm doing mornings, now I have to kind of shift myself to. I have to try and stay up all night to myself into a night shift. So far, not so good. 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yep, I'm out.
And you're going through the ringer right now.
Yep, I'm gonna be feeling it. So by next weekend, thank God we're not. I don't know if I can even do another one. I'm so tired. I don't know. I'm live right now. So, well, say lovey. Of course, now as some people know that I'm trying to adjust my eating habits so that I can start preparing for the next adventure.
Yeah, we might go into detail that in a bonus episode, so Liz can kind of explain more. But I think we did a bonus episode, kind of doing the prelude. But yeah, the prelude to what's happening now. Maybe we can do an interlude. What's an interlude?
Oh, I don't know. I don't. A follow up, halfway story.
Isn't that a conclusion?
Conclusion would be like the final review. I should have done a before and after picture just so you could see the drasticness of this. But oh well, I could still do it for
is
this
it in
one.
between? Yeah, we can do an interlude for what's happening if you want. That's up to Liz.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll
I'm game. Anybody want to pay for that?
Yeah, we'll do an interlude. Liz will explain kind of what more in detail actually what happened afterwards and kind of where she's at and where she's at the moment. And then we might do a conclusion. That's for anyone who wants to subscribe on Spotify. Go in there and you can listen to all our bonus episodes. That's kind of also the other thing I've been working on is getting ready for next season. Some of the backgrounds for all the fun bonus episodes where you've been
I'm excited
prepping.
about that.
We have a lot of fun ideas for bonus episodes. They are going to be a little bit more produced than this kind of format that we're doing right now. But we kind of like, as much as we like doing fun news stories, fun in quotes,
quote unquote.
but we want to do some fun production stuff and make like skits and for you guys. Just some because we want to have fun too. We want to have like we
want to enjoy what we do.
And the way we do it is by your help. So we really appreciate it. Remember, follow, subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Yeah, merch, don't forget. So for anyone who missed out, I'm sorry you missed out on our first inspirational shirt. It should be gone by now. But don't forget that on the 18th, let me double check.
I thought you said the 17th.
18th, June 18th.
Oh yeah, 18th, that's right.
June 18th will be the release of our second inspirational shirt. Don't forget to grab that one before you lose it. Remember, we weren't lying. They are only out for 5 weeks. So get them during that 5-week period. And hopefully, I thought mine was going to be in here by the time, because I ordered mine week 2 and it hasn't shown up. I got to maybe call.
What the hell?
Yeah, I got to check with shipping. Maybe get a call someone. Because I wanted it to wear it during the last episode or the last 2 months. It's disappointing, but yes,
very disappointing.
Yeah, links down below for merch. You can still pick up some of our other merch to represent the Convoluted podcast. Oh, and yeah, and support us because any little bits goes back into the show, so we can continue providing you even more fun. Fun in quotes again because God. Some of the things that are happening.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. But let's start out with something a little bit more relevant to us. What happened like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I feel like it was 2 years ago now.
We'll
yeah,
say 2 years.
2021.
Okay, but luckily it's not us anymore. So what's happening right now, Liz?
Wildfire smoke and air quality live updates. Northeast flight disrupted. Hazy and dangerous fumes from the ongoing wildfires in Canada have engulfed the skies over much of the East Coast, prompting serious air quality alerts in over a dozen states. Sounds familiar. Offense, y'all. Your turn.
So yeah, to kind of give a little, to give a quick brief thing, just so before Liz goes deep into there, there's a bunch of wildfires happening up in Canada.
Well, it's right here. It says right there. And Canadian officials said firefighters are scrambling to put out blazes. So far, this wildfire season, Canada has seen more than 8.7 million acres burned in an area larger than the state of Vermont.
So basically, the state of Vermont is on fire.
A little bit bigger than Vermont, but that's a big.
That is a lot. And I like we mentioned earlier, about roughly 2 years ago, we had something similar happening around here. Like I remember, and I think I have a video of it when I was going home after work one day in the morning. It looked, because I go down a hill, and it looked like I was going straight into hell because the sky was bright red.
I do remember
it was
that
like,
video.
and I'm like, holy shit. And
The breathing was not good, and especially during the pandemic, that was even worse.
oh yeah, you had to be really careful with air quality, and it sounds. I was kind of dipping into some of the other things. I've been following some posts on on Instagram and on Twitter.
TikTok.
Actually, I haven't been on TikTok too much, but
Oh, you haven't seen all the funny videos I've sent you.
not yet. I pile them. I pile them up so I can watch them later. Trust me, my brother is on TikTok for probably an hour or two a day. Think about that.
Might be a half hour to an hour a day, depending.
Did you just say 10 hours?
No, an hour to
Bruh.
to an hour, half hour to an hour in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe, and some days I don't even get on it.
I haven't.
Well,
I
like
get 'em.
this weekend I won't be on it, because like I said, I'll be halfway through my half of it over the night courses, so I'll be dead asleep during the day.
Look at that shit.
Okay. We'll believe Liz for now. But yeah.
Somebody sends me one.
So yeah. Continue.
The large plume of hazardous wildfire smoke has moved through New York City on Wednesday, drifted into the mid-Atlantic Thursday, bringing dangerous air conditions to Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. By Thursday night, the thickest smoke will continue to spread over the mid-Atlantic. AQI values may reach 400 in some areas. Levels under 100 are generally considered safe. By Friday morning, the hazardous haze will be covering Pittsburgh and the Chesapeake Bay. Hopefully we'll start seeing clearer days on Friday, it looks like. So, and by evening, major relief will move in Monday when the cold front sweeps across the East Washington, much of the smoke in the air, which is true. I mean, granted, we have some rain right now, thank God. I don't know if you got some rain down there where you're at, but we got some rain this morning.
Oh, we're getting it right now a little bit. Like sprinkles.
It's still sprinkling right
it's
now,
still
but I mean,
sprinkling.
if it keeps moving, that might help the East Coast. So
Here's hoping. But yeah, it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks what's happening not only in Canada but air quality. It's hurting. I've been seeing small reports of like there's been multiple people having to get airlifted to places because the air quality is really bad, and then there's just some people just are being told to just stay indoors, to their best, to their ability, just because of how really serious it is. It sounds like it's not bad. We went through it, but I don't think it was as bad as they're going through.
no, I don't think it was bad. I got up there to almost to the 200s, but I didn't think it got up to
No,
the 400 quality.
I think we were fine. Maybe if you were closer to the epicenter, but we were pretty in our area, pretty good. But the thing is, it's like a lot's happening, and there can be said a lot because the area that is currently getting burnt up in Canada. Apparently, what I've been reading is like as far as like California fires that happen, like they're kind of like somehow situated to kind of be accustomed to wildfires every couple like decade or so. But apparently, it's estimated that the part of Canada that they're in that's on fire at the moment isn't acclimated to that, and they usually get forest fires every century or so. So
Wow, so really not prepared.
so the ecosystem is not prepared for that. So it's just gonna fuck over a lot. So that's gonna be, and then the way the populace is treating the planet at the moment, I don't see any. Hopefully, we can get a huge drive of tree planting because boy, we're gonna need that fresh air. We're gonna need that fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
There's the state of
That is
Vermont.
for damn shit. Yeah.
But yeah,
No
back
kidding.
to-
I know that our U.S. sent some firefighters up to help them out. So
anything
this will-
they have to. It's affecting America.
it's affecting America. Sorry. forgotten that. Sorry.
But yeah, so we wish the best for our friends in
And the
up
north.
in Canada to the north. We wish you the best. Hopefully, you guys aren't bad. Actually, I should message some of them right now that I know
How they're
how
doing.
how they're doing, because they're in that area, general like coastal area. Just to see how they're doing, just to check in on them.
I
and-
said hi and hope the best.
And well, you can tell them they listen to the show. So.
Oh, do they? Well, I hope you're the best, guys. I hope you're doing
and-
well, and keeping
yeah.
safe, and staying out of trouble.
And anyone else on the East Coast that are being affected, we wish you the best. Hopefully, this will distract you from the hellscape that you guys are currently in, because we were in it. And hopefully you guys are staying safe and don't like get murdered by the air.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's go into the next one. A little bit more of a funnier story. Let's stay in Canada. Because a Canadian chased wheel down a hill won, and despite being knocked unconscious, so this lady won a
cheese wheel.
A cheese wheel on a sport. This is a sport where people run down a hill after a cheese wheel.
Yeah.
And the winner was literally won while she was unconscious.
She didn't even know it.
Now, as a child, were you the type of child that would run down hills?
I lived off of hills. Yes, we did. We didn't have any. We didn't have flat surfaces. I mean, I lived in SoCal, so I mean, like, it's not always flat. It's very, very hilly. We've had a lot of hills, so I grew up with the hills.
Bruh.
So if someone's running down a hill, that's like
you gotta really focus on that hill, or you're gonna go.
So let's see. Does the audio work on this? Here comes the people. Here comes the people chasing this wheel. The people running and tumbling. So, the big cheese of the Extreme UK Sport event is back. Hundreds of spectators gathered Monday to watch dozens of reckless racers chase a 7-pound or 3-kilogram wheel of double Gloucester cheese down the near vertical Cooper's Hill. Near Gloucester. Is it Gloucester?
Gloucester. I think it's Gloucester. Oh my god.
It's English. So
I can say it in my head, but I can't put it together.
Our English fans yell at me. Tell me how it's said. The first racer to finish behind the fast-rolling cheese gets to keep it. So the prize is the wheel cheese. Okay, whatever. The cheese rolling race...
you can sell that thing probably for good money.
Or you can just eat it, Liz. You can just eat the cheese.
7 pounds of cheese?
You can share it. You can have a party. I won my victory party.
Literally would have to be hundreds of people. Just saying.
We can get through it. A cheese rolling race has been held at Cooper's Hills, about 100 miles or 160 kilometers west of London since 1826. Ooh, this has been a historic thing that's been happening. The sport of cheese rolling is believed to be much older. The rough and tumble event often comes with safety concerns. Yes, even children know running down a hill is fun but fucking dangerous. And but being a spectator is always fun, right? Few competitors managed to stay on their feet all the way down the hill. Oh my god, they must have some very amazing stability. Yeah. 200 yards or 180 meters. And this year several had helped and limping from the course. Canadian contestant Delaney, thank you. Delaney Irving. Thank you. Delaney Irving won the women's race despite being briefly knocked unconscious. The 19-year-old Canadian tourist apparently did not actually realize she had won the competition until she regained consciousness in the medical tent shortly after. How are you? You took the hell of a tumble, one British interview asked Irving shortly after regaining... Do we have that interview? No, they don't have it. Where is it? Took a tumble shortly after waking conscious. Irene replied, "Did I?" in the comments. See, good. Now that I remember it, I just remember hitting my head, and now I have the cheese.
I have the cheese. I should be on a shirt. I have the cheese.
I have the cheese. The teenager was one of hundreds of racers who chased a 7-pound full fat hard cheese down named Double Gloucester.
Gloucester. I want to say it's Gloucester. Or
You know what?
something like
Here, give me a second. Let's see if I can
Gloucester.
Google search this really quick. Usually it has usually it says how it's said. How to pronounce. Here we go. Wait, how do you say it? Hello? Here we go.
Can't hear it.
Gloucester.
Gloucester.
Gloucester. Okay.
Wait.
Gloucester.
Gloucester. Gloucester.
Okay.
Gloucester. Yeah, I got it right. You may have you have mispronounced it. Damn you, Google.
Gloucester.
Gloucester. Okay, I tried.
A for effort, right?
Yeah. From Matt Corla, 28, from Manchester in northwest England, won the first several men races. Asked how he was prepared. I don't think you can train for it, can you? It's just being an idiot. Yeah.
Just being an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like just some fun, ridiculous entertainment, and you know, it's just going running down a hill and trying to chase something. Here's my question: would you do it? Like, if you and your friends went, would you guys participate? Well, how long?
Yes, I would.
How much?
Say
is
something that I've done in my life. It's not a bucket list, but it definitely should be up there probably in your lifetime to do something like some sort of adventure like that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I don't think I would be able to do it again like normal, but
yeah, same. I would do it. I don't know if I would win, but I would do it just to say I did it.
I know. How often can somebody say that? I chased after the Gloucester.
So yeah, I think I would do it. It sounds like just some fun, like, old childhood memories. Just like, all right, here you go, start running, and you just see a bunch of people around you that are doing the exact same thing. The only thing
you gotta be like, I have to think you have to be almost like limber to like jump over bodies. Oh, that's what you do. Hold on for like a couple seconds, right? Let's go, and then do it. Jump over the bodies. Of course, you can see the tumble right after that. It's a hill.
I'm watching it the last time. Man, she ate it. I just watched her eat it. Whew. But yeah, good on her for winning, and it seems like we would do it if we had a reasonable hill around here. We would do it too. Actually, we do have a reasonable hill around here, but there's no 7-pound cheese that we can chase after. So maybe
maybe Tillamook could donate something to us.
True. There you go. Let us know, guys. Would you guys do this cheese? What is it called?
Cheese Hill Run.
Cheese Hill Run. I wonder if there's a specific name for it, but yeah. Let us know, because it just seems like just some goofy fun, and it's not there's a level of competitive spirit, but you know, it's just fun, and we kind of need it nowadays, right? Kind of need it nowadays. What story should we go? Because there's a lot happening, and should we go uplifting or disappointing?
Weird.
Or weird? You want to go weird?
We go weird. Why not? We don't go weird that often in the show.
Okay.
Do we? Do we, guys?
Okay, everyone, get ready. We're gonna be watching a quick video to explain. Give us 1 second. Okay, Liz, what's the article? And then we're gonna be watching a video explaining some crazy stuff.
Yes. Police body cam films UFO response to scared local seeing aliens in yard.
All right, so
Dun,
let's
dun.
find out what people are saying here.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahara, and are you guys excited about aliens? Look, I am a believer, ladies and gentlemen. You might think that, oh, Muta's off his meds again. Oh, he's talking about aliens. Can you disprove aliens in the comment section below? I just want to ask you, do you genuinely believe we're the only intelligent form of life? I would argue about our intelligence. But ladies and gentlemen, aliens, whether you believe it or not, they got to be out there. Intelligent life has to exist in the unobserved parts of our galaxy and the observed. Now, it's wild that we haven't come across any aliens, but then again, the galaxy is so big that it's like Sean Murray's No Man's Sky, okay? It's gonna take a while before I guess people find each other, all right? God damn. We're in a multiplayer lobby that's the largest imaginable. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put the thinking headsets on and we're gonna get right into it, okay? So today's video is all about the recent UFO whistleblower. So what's happened is an individual known as David Grush, an intelligence whistleblower, has alleged the intelligence community is hiding classified evidence of intact and partially intact craft of non-human origin. God damn! That's a pretty big claim, if true. So again, we're looking into it. Grush claims in a complaint in the Pentagon, other nations and defense contractors have recovered fragments of exotic origin based on vehicle morphologies and material science testing and the possession of unique atomic arrangement and radiological signatures, okay? That's a pretty big claim, if true. What he's saying is, obviously these planes exist, and they're not something we made, they're something entirely made by a group outside of us.
So the topic of aliens has always been something of a hot topic for everyone in the world. It's always been something interesting, and the idea that someone's like been in contact or all these stuff has always been in the public, in the ears of the public.
Come on, Men in Black.
Exactly. And for the most part, my question to you then is: do you hope to see aliens in your time life?
Yes. Yeah. I would like to. I would be curious because I would definitely be a question that I have on my head, on my mind. That's all my life. So I think there's something greater and bigger than us. Yes, I believe so too. I would like to see that because then it really would prove.
I can see that. I can see that because I think I'm trying to remember the saying. I think there's a really wonderful saying for people who are to speculate if there's alien life out there. One would I'm gonna butcher it a little bit, but I'm gonna paraphrase it to the best of my ability. It is that it is the scariest thing to know that to know if we're the only life in the universe. While it's also the scariest to know that we're not the only one too, I guess. So yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Like that's the best way. I know it's said a lot more eloquently, but that's one of the few things. Because for me, I have a strong feeling it might not be intelligent life, but there's probably bacteria somewhere out in the universe. Like as much as I would like to see aliens in my lifetime, we more than likely might not. That's a disappointing part. I would like to, but now kind of tangenting off from that is kind of then the reveals. Like in the last couple of decades, we've been getting classified documents being like not redacted. What's the opposite of redacted? Exposed. Released.
Yeah, release. Made public. Basically.
Made public. Yeah, of these UFOs, of these things by like whistleblowers and things like that, and it just gets the public to talk and hear about these things. So yeah, good on them for the most part to kind of release information that is kept secret to the public, like hidden away. That might be harmful, but sometimes there's stuff in there that like it's best to keep quiet from the public eye.
Well, yeah. I know. It's kind of interesting how we have this information, and I think there's stuff that I would like to know, like
All right.
true. I mean, yeah, I would like to know.
So let's continue then.
So he had an interview with News Nation, so we're actually going to watch some of it because I think it's interesting to look into. It's interesting to cover. Let's hear what he has to say.
Human beings being hurt or killed by a non-human intelligence.
While I can't get into the specifics because that would reveal certain U.S. classified operations, I was briefed by a few individuals on the program that there were malevolent events like that.
Grush says.
So basically, he's just said aliens have killed some of our agents. I'm gonna be real with you, United States government, if they got one of their people killed, we're entering an intergalactic war, okay? It is what it is. I don't care how pacifist you are. The moment that Americans get involved into a war, we're all there. And you know what? I'm siding with my people, my earthlings, my fellow brothers against Alamaus, all right? I don't care how scary they are. I will fight tooth and nail for the freedom of our human species.
Not a single fuck was given this day.
Providing detail. The CIA, if he ever leaks out something that the CIA or any of these three-letter agencies don't want, David is getting nuked off the planet, okay? He's getting Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden is still alive.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
But,
Yeah, you say something, you're gone from this planet. The people, your family is gone from this planet. You're not. Yeah, something said you are not. You are not a martyr. You are whisper in the air.
the moment his protection runs out, you bet that the three-letter agencies are on that dude's ass, okay? It's like a kid that goes missing in the park, all right? All the white vans show up, all right? You got to be real careful.
This letter with us from the Department of Defense giving him permission to do the interview with News Nation. It says the interview questions are approved for public release. However, this approval does not include any photograph, picture, exhibit.
So, okay, basically the Department of Defense has allowed him to basically make these statements. So, to understand what he's talking...
Before he explains it... This is a weird thing. Oh, this is just me going into like conspiracy mode a little bit, because there's a moments where it's like, are they just putting out this propaganda? Like the government is allowing him to say X, Y, and Z. Does that mean he can only?
Preparing us.
So let's see what's happening.
Talking about is UAPs, which we'll get to in a bit. But it says over here that, again, I don't believe this would be false. To make this a falsified statement would be, I'd have to imagine it would be illegal. But so
yeah, the news station would get fucked over. Yeah, like releasing this like very credential like piece of information to the public.
The DoD said the interview questions are approved for public release. However, the approval does not include any photographs, picture, exhibit, caption, so no evidence whatsoever. Also, you making a statement, we're not endorsing it or saying that it has any factual accuracy. So they've allowed him to talk. They're just not going to side with whatever he says. Now, to give you an idea what UAPs are, according to NASA, which is a federal agency, they said the UAP, which is an unidentified anomalous phenomena, or unidentified aerial phenomena, so that's...
I still like UFOs better.
Mm-hmm.
UAPs.
I mean, we just had the alien, what's that called? Not, alien, festival recently in McMinnville, a couple weeks ago. So, I honestly, and I've heard also that they have, increased. We've been having an increase of these UAPs or whatever you want to call them, UFO sightings in the last couple of years. There's been an increase.
Okay.
Aerial phenomena. Interesting. So NASA is exploring the unknown in space. The atmosphere is the heart of who we are. So again, scientists who want to see what's outside our realm. And they have an independent study that's going to be coming out around 2023, mid-2023, so right around the corner, to be honest. In fact, probably like now, which is kind of interesting seeing all these whistleblowers like line up. But also over here, you can see that UAP Independent Studies team main focus is for them to come up with ways to evaluate and study UAPs by using data, technology, and the tools of science. Will this be an academic No, this will not be an academy study. Okay. Now, to understand, there's been more statements made by David, so we're going to look through more of it. This Air Force veteran has a bit more to say, so let's cover this down.
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
That's a big statement if true. God damn. Wow. So basically, he's not even saying that this could be like, other countries is like intel. Like, no, he's literally said these are unique patterns that human beings have not come up with. So yes, this is by definition an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Interesting that he said it. And he's also basically detailed that there's a retrieval team that's done by the darker sides of the U.S. like DoD, which apparently deals with, again, grabbing these technology pieces for themselves and I guess using it to develop further technology in their list. So obviously you've heard of Area 51, you've heard of air bases, and the thing is Area 51, which is pretty much like a hotbed for conspiracies. In reality, if you wanted to truly apply the reality to it, Area 51 is typically a place where they design the most experimental U.S. stealth aircraft, which is still to this day far advanced than what I understand most other countries have. Obviously, there's going to be a reason to have secrecy. The U.S. does not want their stealth technology ever released. If you try to release it, they will kill you, okay? It is what it is. They do not fuck around when it comes to that nonsense.
Because it's America. We protect our secrets.
Yeah, I don't believe there's necessarily aliens at Area 51, not so much as I believe that they just have crazy aircraft that we've never seen before. Now, you could argue that maybe they have a UFO hidden somewhere, and the only reason they're able to have such a strong arm on the technology compared to the rest of the world is they have access to things nobody else does. Which, I guess it's easy to think about the conspiracy there, but again, until proven so, I can't sit there and 100% drink the Kool-Aid.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species?
That's the real question we want, right?
Mm-hmm. Do we have them?
I'm surprised no one was talking about this. This is...
No.
That we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well, naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
We got Ayla Mouse confirmed by a former intelligence officers. We literally have bodies of Roger from American Dad sitting around. And this is wild. Okay, so obviously I agree. If there's an aircraft, provided it's not a drone, there's got to be a pilot. So apparently you said that, yeah, we also not only have aircraft, but we also have bodies as well. Now, of course, again, big if true. The problem with this is that there's literally no actual evidence that we've been given at all about this, in terms of any photo, any report, any scan whatsoever, because that's not allowed to be shared. So again, I take it a lot with a grain of salt. I'm not sitting here trying to say that David is a liar because, David probably believes what he wants to believe, but obviously David also understands that without providing any sort of factual proof that cannot be refuted, then people are going to take what he says with a grain of salt, and I think he gets that. And
yeah, that's one of the few things. We're getting a U.S. officer. We can literally, well, like Mudahar mentioned, we can only take it by a grain of salt, right?
Mm-hmm.
As much as it sounds fantastic, minus dead bodies. The idea that there's stuff around is okay, wow. It's like the notion we were just talking about earlier. Will we see aliens in our lifetime? The idea now goes from it probably won't to slightly from 0 to more than 0%, under 1%. Not impossible, but it's a thing where it's confidentiality is now where, because as much as I would like to believe, what was the name of the guy, the pilot, the one who's doing the interview, as much as I wanted to believe what he's saying, until we get some credible, 100% credible proof, it's kind of just another person saying it, even though he has more credentials and he has a little bit more as a backing than your average Joe Blow from Nebraska being abducted by aliens, right? He has. So, what are your thoughts? Just kind of hearing all this.
I honestly think it's possible. I mean, yeah, I would like to see evidence. I think, evidence would be amazing to kind of see if it's really true. I mean, to back up the story, But again, I almost want to say some of it, you know, like because we advance so much as millennials so quickly, so fast. It's an near understanding because you know why did it take us so long to do this, and then we finally have alien crashings, and then our technology is sped up 100% and then. So
yeah, I like following that.
it's a curiosity, honestly, you know, because as millennials, we saw from great green screen computers, and because computers were in rooms when you know my father was born. Like, think about it, like to go from rooms to something that's handheld in our hand nowadays.
That is true. All right, let's see what other things this has before we kind of close off this one.
For me, I believe in aliens. I am a believer, but again, I'm also a realistic person. There are people skeptical of this, rightly so, but until I see something, I can't believe it. Oh, sorry, our air quality is really bad. God damn, we have like a
Mutahar is our resident Canadian, so
it's actually so bad. We're smoggy up the ass here. Toronto's terrible. New York is awful, and it's
you know, this goes full circle to what we were talking about.
It does, doesn't it, right? So it was good on me to pick this article.
I believe Quebec that we have to suffer like this. But yeah, we have wildfire season on the East Coast. God, apparently it's like you smoke like 8 cigarettes a day or something. It's actually quite fucked. But anyways, I'm going to try to do this before I die. So let's cover this. Now, speaking of Canada, Canada, alongside the Five Eyes intelligence sharing community, which involves the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, have all come together to talk about this. So while the details of their meeting, which they're just having, is classified, it can be characterized as the sharing of information on the subject of UAP. So they're all depending on talking about
Five Eyes Intelligence Sharing Alliance. Did you know there was such a thing?
Maybe.
I've never heard of that.
Maybe I thought it was like I thought it was from a movie, because thinking, oh, it's just like bullshit. But I don't know.
So wait, U.S., Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand. Okay, it's one of those things like it's like sounds fake and it sounds like a movie thing like you said, but it's like it's actually real. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know.
Five Eyes. That would make sense. Canada, U.S.
UK, Australia, and
New Zealand. Five Eyes.
Now again, whether it's talking about the secret intelligence aircraft that we have flying around, or is it about aliens, that's yet to be known. Look, at some point when aliens come by, the government can't hide them any longer, okay? We're gonna have to know at some point. Now, when it comes to the House of...
It's one of those things when you're like, there's a giant spaceship in the air, I'm like, how is anyone gonna hide that one? They're gonna have to do the Men in Black neuroblast on everyone.
You don't remember this.
The U.S. government had to acknowledge what David said, David Grush. So literally we're sitting over here with them saying there will be oversight of that. We plan on having a hearing. So again, when the government says that, they're obviously going to cover it. They're going to look into it. It's not something that can easily just be ignored anymore. Now, obviously, when you look into the ideas of aliens and whatnot, one of the interesting paradoxes to me is the Fermi paradox, which is a conflict between the argument that scale and probability seem to favor intelligent life being common in the universe, and the total lack of evidence of intelligent life having been arisen anywhere other than on Earth. So the idea over here is, according to the math, there should be plenty of habitable planets around the world and other galaxies and star systems. But why is it that we've never been communicated by anybody, or nobody has received our communications? Now, if you ever played Mass Effect, you'll know that its plot is effectively the Fermi paradox. Spacefaring races are fighting synthetic organisms in a galactic war. But for a lot of people, a lot of the life forms that are landlocked, they don't have technology to observe the world around them, they don't know what's going on. I oftentimes lay in bed wondering if the Space United Nations is currently fighting with the goddamn Reapers, and maybe I'm just sitting over here vibing, scrolling through Twitter at night. That's pretty much what my life is sometimes, okay?
That's kind of a good big explanation of what this is. It's just to simplify it for any in layman terms, like we as individuals, like we aren't like just going planet side, I'm gonna say. Like us, we're in our like little spaces compared to someone on the other side of the world. Like we can take the war in Ukraine right now. Like what's happening over there is horrific and everything, but it doesn't really affect me in my small scale. So thinking of it in the galactic sense, what's happening out in the universe. There might be something out there, but they don't care what's happening here with us, with just like two people recording a podcast. Like this means nothing to them. Like we. So they might be dealing with like galactic policies, fighting with each other. You know, they have other problems, and then it comes to that point where it's like some people just don't have the ability to leave planet side, right? Like we're still basically trying to get past the moon, you know. So we're still
trying
like,
to get to Mars.
So yeah, it's like that's the thing is like there's like even if it is happening or it is possible, it's just well, if there is life, it's like they're probably not at the technological level to they can get to us or vice versa, you know. But you know that's a fun discussion. I think we'll leave it at that. And it sounds like the government is talking. So wait, let me give us 1 second, everyone. Okay. So yeah, so it's crazy just knowing that there are talks happening. There are it's massive, right? I like having these like random discussions around in like my roundtable, because when it's fun to just discuss it of these conspiracies and everything, but then when you really have like the government like talking about it, like oh we have to address what I think he said David was the name of the whistleblower, like oh we have to take this seriously now. Someone said something, so we have to discuss it. Now we got to get the Five Eyes together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to come out of this? What do you want your tax dollars to go for, Liz?
I'm hoping that we figure it out. I want the truth. I mean, is it true? Give us info. I mean, if you have nothing to hide, show us.
Now,
I mean, we have advanced so far in technology within the last, 3 years of our lives spans. Like, of course, I want to see this. I feel like this is, right up there. So I feel like we need an answer soon.
There you go.
I would like that in my lifetime.
You want it in your I just want
I want it in my lifetime, man.
Just let me
Even if I have to die right after I get the information, I will do that.
like you're like, I know. Okay, so let's jump in from conspiracy to another sport that's been announced. I'll let you read this one, Liz.
Which one was it again? Where did it go? What are you talking about? Mm-hmm.
Oh, here, I'll put the...
Oh, that one? Oh, that one. That should be fun. All right, you ready?
Go for it.
First ever sex championship in Sweden, truth or fiction?
Yes,
here's
everyone.
What to know.
Sex is now officially a sport, or is it?
All right. So, as per reports, Sweden has become the first country to recognize sex as a sport and is set to hold a sex championship. However, there's a twist in the tale. A report in Times of India recently claimed that Sweden has officially announced sex as a sport. The report states that the country has become the first nation to register sex as a sport and that it will hold the first ever European sex championship in Gothenburg on June 8th. Oh, that was only a day ago from today's airing. Or
recording.
A couple days. Recorded. The 6 week long. 6 week long.
6 week long. What?
I feel like it's so already.
like what? I thought it was like maybe a weekend event. Like they host not an Olympic like level event. All right, I'm
thinking like 48 hours. Man, not 6 weeks. Damn.
All right.
The competition has been reported to take place under the Swedish Sex Federation's guidance.
What the? They have a federation already?
Damn.
Okay.
The report also mentioned that the participants engaged in sexual activities under 16 disciplines would include sex seduction, oral sex, penetration, endurance, body massages, foreplay, exploring erotic zones, and more.
Okay, so they're actually it seems like they're going deep into like the actual like level of stuff. Oh, okay, they're not just half a joke. Okay.
The contestants in European Sex Championships are said to compete in demanding 6-hour sessions each day.
What?
I can't make a guy last 2 minutes. The individual matches lasting 45 to 60 minutes, according to several reports. It is said that 20 people from different countries would participate in the competition, and a panel of 3 judges would decide the championship winners, while the audience will also influence the decision on the sex competition. They will judge on several aspects of the sexual activity. The final decision will depend on several factors like chemistry between the couple, knowledge about sex, endurance level, etc.
Oh my god, this is going way deeper than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a half joke.
It doesn't seem like it. Oh my god. Okay, so media reports that have claimed that a couple with the knowledge of the Kama Sutra, ancient Indian scripture on sex and eroticism, would receive bonus points, and the championship would encourage people from different sexual orientations to participate. Okay. Not discriminating. That's good. Dragon Batch, the chairman of the Swedish Federation of Sex, told the Times of India the incorporation of sexual orientation as a part of sporting tactics will groundbreaking development among European countries. They added, just like any other sport, achieving desired results in sex requires training. Therefore, it is only logical for people to start competing in domain as well, according to Batch, recognize sex as a sport as inevitable. Is the report fake or true? However, per report republished in Gothenburg Posten, a news portal based in Gothenburg, Sweden. I won't be able to enunciate that article. The umbrella organization tasked with supporting the developing sports in Sweden had issued a clarification able that application by Swedish Sex Federation has been rejected as an incomplete and did not meet certain requirements.
Bro, so they got denied being officially considered a sport.
That's brutal.
But it looks like they had a foundation of what they were trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I like you mentioned, I think they were going a little too far. Like 6-week long competitions,
6 hours a day, 45 to an hour,
like full like judges and audience. Okay, the thing that got me,
that's another thing you would have to break, that confidence, like not.
Now here's
usually sex is with 2 people or 3, depending on or 4, depending on the situation.
Whatever.
But being comfortable with somebody being in the room just to watch and judge you.
So the other thing,
like you already feel judged enough being in a sex competition, and then you really judge.
The other thing is like the thing that throws me off is like giving the audience a chance to influence how you compete. I get competition with just the judges, like 3-5 judges. The audience should never have input on that. The audience should just be there for the sport, right? That's where that gets me. Like, fuck everything else. Everything else
I feel like that's just an orgy waiting to happen.
That's what probably happens afterwards. But none of the competitors can be a part of it because they have to be in tip-top shape, Liz.
Unless they're on something to give them a little long standing.
No, they have to. What do they probably have drug tests and everything, Liz. How many contestants did they say?
No, they didn't say drug testing or anything of that nature.
It was probably in their requirements or something. Because they were trying to get it as an official sport. So you kind of have to like put that bottom line, right? Mm-hmm. You can't give advantages to everyone, Liz. But
I know.
The idea is funny, cool. Crazy if it happened. 20 people. So 20 people. I don't know. It seems like they were going a little too. They were reaching for the sky, or maybe they were trying to get publicity, to kind of amplify it. Because look, we're talking about it. like if it was a 3-day competition with 20, 30 people, and that they actually had a rubric with the categories that need to be done, I would see it. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. And then you would just have to figure out where it would be like viewed, probably like on a spicy website, right? Like you wouldn't be able to watch that in public, or YouTube or anything. It would have to be one of the spicy sites.
Yep, for sure.
But that, man, with one of the whoever was hosting that event will get a lot of views, and they're
secret cameras all over the place, and have fun for it later.
Yeah, if it ever becomes something, it'll be interesting to see what they would do, what the actual competitions would be, the rubrics and what everything. That'd be fun to see what they would do with that, because for the most part, like sex is like a form of human nature that's been around for reproduction for all of existence, for almost every species, minus the ones that just like divide. So we'll see what happens. We might keep an eye on this, but boy howdy, did the Swedish Sex Federation, I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what they do. See what they do.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
All right then. Any you want to have another story? Kind of how you kind of feeling it?
I don't know. Do you want to add another story? I'm up for anything.
There are 2 stories we can dive into: a scary, harrowing one, or a disappointing, another like wow story.
Should we go disappointing?
So you want to do that? We can do that. All right.
Sure.
This is a Florida woman story.
Oh yes, that one.
Florida woman appears in court after arrest in killing of neighbor. Jean Owens. I think that's how you pronounce it. I do apologize, sadly. But Miss Owens or Mrs. Owens, whatever. Let's see here. A Florida woman appeared at her first court hearing after she was arrested in the shooting and death of her neighbor, a mother of 4, after the alleged dispute with the neighbor's children. Susan, I'll just say her first name, 55, who is white, appeared in court via video from Marion County Jail, where she currently being housed. According to Marion County Sheriff, she allegedly shot and killed Miss Owens, who is black, on June 2nd in Ocala, Florida, on the doorstep of Susan's home. Susan admitted to calling children in the neighborhood the N-word and other derogatory terms in the past, according to police reports. The state attorney requested that Susan be held with no bond, and that the state would file a motion for pretrial detention. Okay. She will hold off on the bond hearing until the state files a motion for pretrial detention, which will schedule 5 days. I don't care about that. The fact that she has no job, no property, kind of limits her ties to this community, the state attorney says of Susan. So we ask that, at least for the time being, she remains on a no bond status. So what is happening? What actually happened? I'm trying to find what happened. This lady just tried to... Okay. Authorities say that the suspect told police that she shot the 35-year-old in self-defense. Oh my God, this lady just tried to break down my door, Susan told the emergency dispatchers on a 911 call ABC News obtained from Sheriff Department. I shot through the door. Through the investigations, the sheriff's office and determined that Susan's actions were not justified under Florida law, the quote stand your ground law that a lot of people use. At the press conference Wednesday, Ben Crump. The attorney representing Owens' family claimed Susan often directed racial slurs at black children around the neighborhood and antagonized them not to play on the field near her home. Susan's attorney and the sheriff in office and the state offices did not immediately respond to ABC's News request for a comment on these claims. Susan mostly gave one-word answers during the hearing Thursday. One exception was when Con asked Susan if she she planned to find a job. Lauren said that she had been out of work for 2 weeks and had been employed in the medical field, helping people set up people's doctor's appointments. We set up people's appointments for people who have Medicare, Medicaid insurance. What is that? Is that important? Are you intending on getting another job? Eventually. Okay. Oh, was arrested this week. Anything else important here in the statement? State of the law. Those are kids. Damn.
Bruh.
Wow. A lot of back and forth. This nasty Susan, just being a bitch because she's just a racist 40-year-old.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so it's okay. So we don't have to dive into here. She's just a horrible person.
Yeah, because it just sounds like she's just hitting it, throwing stuff. You just see all these reports, like a string of these reports that attacking the children and all sorts of shit. So.
Yeah, it's just another sad story of a person. Probably I can speculate if you probably already read. Probably she was just her kids probably came up to her that a lady complaining, and she had her kid next to her like, hey, yeah, this lady, and she went to go complain like, hey, why are you saying these things to my child? And then trying to defend her child, she gets murdered basically. And from what I looked a little bit down below, it looks like she's gonna end up going to jail for up to 30 years. So hopefully that's worth. So hopefully that was worth it. Hope that was worth it. So yeah, once again, another fun moment when some people just some people just can't be people.
I don't know exactly. It can't be anything. Kids can't be kids, and I don't understand. These kids didn't ask for these names. Shit.
Like imagine
kids.
Like imagine if you heard that your child was getting like harassed, and you just like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to that neighbor. Like you would go, you what? No, I might be putting words in your mouth, but you would go up to the neighbor and say, hey, why, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
So
my kid is biracial. She, even though she's not dark, but she does have a darker tone than I do. So she's got your shade. But I mean, that's just not appropriate at all whatsoever.
It's one of those things now. Now, do you go knock at the door now, Liz? Do you when you have I think I
guess I should be wearing a bulletproof vest and maybe some armor on my head.
Yeah, because I remember I made that statement that 1 in 5 people in America now will die by a gunshot. So like, you just never know. Never know.
Exactly.
So I feel for the family. I hope they are able to come through to this, and hopefully Susan gets the maximum punishment as much as possible and lives the rest of her life, because that's what you get. That's what you get.
Being a piece of shit.
So, all right then, everyone. Let's move on to the finale. Like I said, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, subscribe. Try to get us to the 100 on Spotify, 500 on YouTube, and don't forget to pick up your merch at merch.tyrantdominus.com. Links are down below if you want to help support us, continue making the show even better. New stuff coming out in July, inspirational shirt in June 18th. And anything else, Liz, before we get into our query?
No. Be safe out there, everybody. Don't put in the 400 negative air. 8 cigarettes a day.
Yeah. All right then, Liz. I'll let you
Look
read
at that shit.
the stuff.
What was the die number?
Number 4.
Oh, another 4? Oh, this is creepy. Am I the asshole for recording my uncle's drink request? My uncle thinks it's funny to get me to run back and forth between the pool and the kitchen, getting him drinks. He says he wants a Coke and then claims he asked for a beer and then asks where his Coke is. He usually blames it on us damn millennials anyways, being on our phones and not paying attention. For whatever reason, my parents don't tell him to piss off.
Wait,
That's fucked
what
up.
is he? So what does he do?
So he's basically, hey, Jesus, go get me a Coke. And then you come back with the Coke. I'll be like, no, I asked for a beer. Go get me a beer.
Oh, it's just some silly fun, but
yeah, it's
depending.
Silly fun.
But there's that grace period where like, okay, I guess you can stop now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started getting old a long time ago, and I usually dealt with it by making myself scarce when it was over. Visiting over Memorial Day, and he caught me. He asked me for a Coke, so I bought him a Coke. And then he said he asked for a beer, so I pulled out my phone and played the video I liked to record him asking for a Coke. Like most of us damn millennials, I was on my phone when he asked, and I knew what was coming, so I recorded his request. Smart millennial.
Like, we always have cameras. We have cameras all the time, guys.
He asked for a beer because that's what they really wanted. So I told him I would be happy to get him a beer after he finished his drinks because unlike his boomer generation, I don't waste stuff for the fun of it. Oh, damn. I felt that burn a little bit. He got huffy because he was just joking around. The next time he asked me for a drink, my phone was in my pocket. So I pulled it out and said I didn't remember what he asked for, so he could please repeat himself. He said he would just get his own drinks. I told him that was a great idea. My parents think I was a jerk being rude to a guest and my older, and I thought I was just making sure he got what he was asked for. Am I the asshole? There is an edit, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's just fun. I think it's just this is the less serious ones we've ever read. Was he an asshole? No. This joke can be. It's fun to do it like once or twice, but then it can get annoying.
It's old real quick.
Yeah, that's when it's like, no. Like I would get frustrated with this. Like it's I don't has that ever. I think it happened to me once or twice. If like really thinking about it, but that's it. Not like in spot it. But it sounds like
I've had that joke, but I've had that joke but it didn't make me go run back and go get the other thing. He was just like, I'm just teasing with you, like that kind of thing. But not
exactly.
like.
But it seems like this was like it was getting a little old right there,
Excessive.
So what's the edit saying?
He's actually a millennial. I'm a Gen Z, I guess. And yes, it's cultural as to why I'm expected to fetch him foods and drinks.
It's cultural. Wait, yes, it's cultural.
Yeah, it's cultural also.
Yeah. Because when we have guests over, we usually do that too. Like we get food and drinks for our guests and stuff. So I could see that, like it's weird for some other people because when like some people like say why are you grabbing that for something, like that's just how we do stuff, like so it can be a cultural thing too, but then it's just the annoyance part, that's where it gets. But yeah, not an asshole. The uncle was it an uncle?
Mm.
Yeah, the uncle was
definitely being a little too obsessive with that joke.
He was borderline asshole. Asshole. Like if you have to cut that out before you're a true asshole.
If it was me, I'd be like, "Here, I got you a Coke and a beer because I know your references. Here you go, both.
There you go.
And the fresh and cold. Out of here, bye."
There you guys go. Always go for the doubles. All right then, everyone. Thank you again for listening or watching. Now that we have video on Spotify, so you can either watch us on YouTube or Spotify now. Support us on both if you like. Share it with everyone. Word of mouth is one of the best ways to tell people about the show. It helps us out a lot. We've been slowly gaining following subscribers little by little now. But that's how you do it. It's a little climb. So we're not the biggest show out there, but we do appreciate every little one of you because everyone means the most. So be safe out there for everyone in our friends from up north and on the East Coast. Be safe out there. And yeah, let's hope some of this shenanigans does not do too crazy, but and hopefully we'll one day get the evidence if there's real stuff out there. We'll get real proof, but hopefully it does not stop, because then we won't have nothing to talk about next week. Always the conundrum, always the puzzle, because this world is pretty convoluted, right? All right, everyone.
Exactly.
So everyone, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.
Bye.
I swear that I will never leave you. Fingers crossed, I swear that I will never leave you.